Hello students, this is Shivani ma'am and today we are going to do a beautiful poem, A Musical Instrument, written by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Students, Elizabeth Browning was one of the most prominent English poets of the Victorian era. She was popular both in Britain and the United States during her lifetime. Some of her well-known poems are The Battle of Marathon, The Seraphim, The Cry of the Children, and The Ladies, Yes. Now let's talk about the poem. This poem, A Musical Instrument by Elizabeth Browning, is a 7-stanza poem that is separated into 6 lines. Students, this poem has a mythological background. In the very first line, the speaker talks about the great god Pan. Remember the name? The great god Pan. This character is the main subject of the poem. He is the god of wild flocks and rustic music. Who is great god Pan? The god of wild flocks and rustic music. Now what do you mean by wild flocks? This means shepherds and flocks. Now, as I told you that this poem has a mythological background, it is very necessary for one to know its background to understand the poem completely. According to mythological record, it is said that Pan, the great god Pan, I'm talking about Pan, right? Pan fell in love with wood nymph Syrinx. What is the name? Wood nymph Syrinx. She escaped him. In order to save her from this man Pan, her sister transformed her into a reed. Students, you know what is a reed? Reeds are tall and slender leaved plants. They grow in water. So her sister transformed her into a reed. Now, Pan got very upset and troubled by this. He then went to the riverside and tried to find out the reed which had been transformed, right? And now this poem speaks about the destruction this great god is causing to the reeds, to the flowers, to the river, and to the other insects. So now let's begin with the explanation of stanza 1. What was he doing, the great god Pan, down in the reeds by the river, spreading ruin and scattering ban, splashing and paddling with hoofs of a goat, and breaking the golden lilies afloat with the dragonfly on the river? Now students, as I told you that the great god Pan now has gone to the river to get the reed. So something is going on in his mind. He is desperate to get the reed. Now in order to get the reeds by the river, he spreads ruin and destruction everywhere. What he does, he splashes and paddles with the hoofs of a goat. Here I would like to tell you something, that the physical structure of this god is that he is half human and half goat. Right, the upper part of the body is human and the lower is of a goat. So now he is by the river, he is splashing the water and paddling with his hoofs. You know, goats have hooves. I think you should know what are hooves. And he is splashing and paddling with the hooves. What is paddling? To move the hands or feet about in shallow water. And now when he does this, he breaks the beautiful golden lilies that are floating in the river. He causes destruction to those beautiful lilies. And there are lovely dragonflies also on the river. They are flying all over the river. And the dragonflies are also scared and afraid and they fly away. So here in stanza 1, the Pan god, in order to take out the reed of the river, take out the reeds out of from the river, he spreads ruins and destructions and also breaks the golden lilies. So this was the explanation of stanza 1. He tore out a reed, the great god Pan, from the deep cool bed of the river. The limpid water turbidly ran, and the broken lilies a dying lay. And the dragonfly had fled away, ere he brought it out of river. Now see students, God Pan is so desperate to get the reed out of the river that he tears out a reed out of the bed. He takes it out and he tears it out from the deep cool bed of the river. River bed is very deep and cool where these reeds were growing. So he just takes out a reed, and what happens? The limpid water means the clear water, right? Limpid means clear. The limpid water turbidly ran. Turbidly means now it became muddy because reeds were growing in the mud. So when the reed is pulled out, the water became muddy and cloudy from having the sediments stirred up. And the broken lilies a dying lay. Since the lilies were broken, they lay dying nearby. And the dragonfly also had fled away. Dragonfly was so scared that it fled away before he brought it out of the river. Students, now we come to the stanza 3. High on the shore sat the great god Pan, while turbidly flowed the river, and hacked and hewed as a great god can with his hard bleak steel at the patient reed, till there was not a sign of a leaf indeed to prove it fresh from the river. Now, having taken out the reed out of the river, what did he do? He sat on the shore. Right? He is now satisfied that he has taken out the reed out of the river. He sat on the shore and hacked and hewed. What do you mean by hacked and hewed? This means he cut it and cleaved it. He chopped it, he cleaved it, he cut it with his hard bleak steel. What is hard bleak steel? The knife which he had in his hand. So with his knife, he took out all the leaves and cut it, the reed, and he, hacked it till there was not a sign of a leaf indeed. And now it seemed as if this reed had not been taken out of the river to prove it fresh from the river. He cut it in such a way with his knife that now it seemed as if it was like this forever. It had not been taken out of the river. And now he felt satisfied because now he's on the shore sitting there and cutting the reed, and he's feeling satisfied that he has got the reed that he wanted. In the next video, we will be doing the next stanzas of this poem, stanza 4, 5, 6 and 7. So I request you all to kindly go through these 3 stanzas and their word meanings for a better understanding. Thank you.